to Frigid Fridays. Yes, it's Friday or Tuesday number 3. Yes, this week is just a week of Tuesdays. My name is Lucy Pohl. I am your host. I would like to apologize on behalf of all the polls. Get it? I hope that you are all excited and warm and cozy and happy because we have an amazing show for you tonight. As always, Frigid Fridays, packed full of the best performers that downtown New York has ever seen. Live from the Crane Theater, Joey is the puppet master. I will be here to host and guide you and to help you make sense of it all. I'm not going to do any numbers. I'm not going to do any math. There's going to be no counting. So relax. Nothing can go wrong. Time is on our side. We're going to kick the show off. We have so much cool stuff coming at you. Just a little reminder, if you're not a Patreon, you should do it. It's really fun. You get cool perks. You can go on the Patreon site and become a patron of the Patreon. You get like Penguin merch and all types of cool insider tickets and links and peeks and behind the curtain access. Yes. What else? That's really it for now. We're going to kick the show off. We're going to go to Under St. Mark's. Very exciting. We're going to, we're going to patch into Under St. Mark's on 8th Street. And we are going to hear a little bit of music and entertainment from our very own Jackson Sturkey. He is part of the Gotham for Beginners show and the Gotham Storytelling Festival, which is happening tonight at 7 p.m. right after this. Please, let's give a warm round of applause to our opening act, Jackson Sturkey. Woohoo!
Hello, darlings. It's me, your pal, Jackson Sturkey. From Under St. Mark's, here for Frigid Fridays. How about some numbers? A heart that's full of like a landfill. A job that slowly kills you and bruises that won't heal. How I would take a quiet life, a handshake of carbon monoxide, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises. Quiet, quiet. Well, this will be my final fit. Just one last bellyache with no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, please. Oh, such a lovely house and such a lovely garden with no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, no alarms and no surprises, please. Hi, it's me again, your pal Jackson Sturkey, and I'm so glad to be here with Frigid Fridays and a little bit later with Gotham Beginners. This next song that I have for you, well, I don't know how you've been coping in quarantine, but as for me, I've been watching Star Wars, the new season of Mandalorian, catching up on Rebels, and even some of the lesser known ones, like the Han Solo movie and such. Well, this song is a Star Wars love song. It's called Find the Droids. We were made to fight some far-off emperors, intergalactic war. I may be one of many clones. A clone heart loves you more. I hate sand, it's rough, coarse, and irritating. It gets everywhere. It's hot. It's Jabba the Hutt's taint on this desert planet. But you're here, so I don't care. If we could just take off our helmets, then maybe you could see we share more than uniforms and DNA. You belong with me. I hope you realize stars are for looking at and not for fighting wars. You still laugh when you knock your head on the bottom of spaceship's doors. Falling love as deep as Mount Policies, 'cause the seas that have no shore. And I hope you find the droids you're looking for. I hope you find the droids you're looking for. Do you remember when you said Order 66 was a cruel and hateful blow? The only thing that's worse is loving you, knowing you'll never know. I think love only has a dark side, the light side only lets you down. I get choked up when I think of it, though Lord Vader's not around. If we could just take off our helmets, then maybe you could see we share more than uniforms and DNA. You belong with me. I hope you realize stars are for looking at and not for fighting wars. You still laugh when you knock your head on the bottom of spaceship's doors. You fall in love as deep as Mount Policies, 'cause the seas that have no shore. And I hope you find the droids you're looking for. I hope you find the droids you're looking for. I hope you realize stars are for looking at and not for fighting wars. You still laugh when you knock your head on the bottom of spaceship's doors. You fall in love as deep as Mount Policies, 'cause the seas that have no shore. And I hope you find the droids you're looking for. Though I'll never be the droid you're looking for. I got one more song for you, darling, and it's the one that I'm carrying around right now, the song that's in my pocket. If you want to, this song is called A Ghost Light for You, and I have a wonderful version of it that I do of it with Adam Barth, available on Spotify for now. It's my song that is my love letter to Broadway and my love letter to theater. I'm glad to be bringing it to you here tonight from FRIGID Friday from under St. Mark's Theater. Again, this song is called A Ghost Light for You. It's not the same without the lights, without the people in the room. Please wait 5 minutes longer. The house will open soon. But the show must go on. Gee, I hope that is true. I'll be waiting in the wings. I'll keep a ghost light not the same without the stars. Lighten up the road. If I wait just a little longer, the house will open soon. I've heard the show must go on. Gee, I hope that is true. I'll be waiting in the wings. I'll keep a close eye, burning for you. Ba-da-da-dee-da-da-dee. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-da-da-da. Ba-da-da-da-da-dee-do-dee. I've heard the show must go on. Gee, I hope that is true. I'll be waiting in the wings. I'll keep a close eye, burning for you. Thank you so much to Frigid Fridays, and I'll see you in a little while for the Gotham Beginner Storyteller Show. Please, take it back, Lucy. It's all yours. Take it, they need you. Come on, give it.
The arts and entertainment industry in the United States is not only a vital part of our culture,
but it's also an indispensable part of our economy.
Arts and entertainment in the U.S. is responsible for $877.8 billion in value added to the economy.
The CARES Act dispersed $50 billion in relief to just 10 airlines.
The arts and entertainment sector added $265 billion more to the economy than the entire transportation sector combined. The arts deserve proportionate relief.
Of the more than 26 million people on unemployment in the U.S. right now, over 3.1 million of them worked in arts and entertainment.
94% report income loss, with 62% fully unemployed. Over 12,000 arts institutions report they may never be able to reopen.
Without relief for these arts workers and institutions, the industry they uphold will collapse, along with a vibrant ecosystem of businesses that rely on arts and culture institutions for their success. The loss of work in the arts and culture industry directly affects jobs and revenue for the food, hospitality, transportation, and tourism industries.
The only thing that was keeping millions of people in their homes and their bills paid was the federal pandemic unemployment program. It expired on July 25th.
without pandemic unemployment assistance, spending in essential business sectors will decrease, causing those businesses to have to cut jobs. This ripple effect is estimated to cause the permanent loss of an additional 5.1 million jobs over the next year.
Extending FPUC would provide an average quarterly boost of 3.7% to the GDP and keep people afloat until the COVID crisis has passed. 75% of registered voters agreed with maintaining or increasing UI benefits.
We can't wait to get back to work, but until then, we need the Senate's help to survive.
We need to extend and expand PUA.
Here's how to get involved.
Write your senators, call your senators, at your senators, engage local press. There are links to resources in the description of this video.
And you can learn more at these websites, extendpua.org and beanartshero.com.
Give it up for Jackson Sturkey! Yes, Jackson Sturkey, one of our very own. So beautiful, so lovely. Thank you, Jackson. We love you. Follow Jackson right now. You know what to do. We're waiting. So next up, we have last week's installment of This Week in Reparations. If you want to see this week's show, you can tune in at 8 p.m. That is right. It's at 8 p.m. tonight, every Friday, really, after our Gotham storytelling show. Very special tonight. Stick around for that as well. Come on, you don't have anything else to do. It's so much better than watching MSNBC. Really, it is. You're not missing anything. You have the alerts going on. Turn off MSNBC. I don't know why I'm yelling at you, because if you can see me doing this, you're not watching MSNBC. But maybe you should text all your friends and tell them to turn it off and watch this. Yeah, how about that? So yes, Jackson Sturkey, the fabulous, the brilliant. We're going to keep it going. And we are going to show you last week in reparations. Enjoy.
So my next guest isn't really a guest, right? Because this man is like an icon. He's like on the Mount Rushmore of theater, right? He's one of those cool people who have a middle initial in their name. Give it up, everybody, for Kevin R. Free.
I'm cool because I have a middle initial. Well, that's not gonna make me cry, but I will take it as an intro. Thank you, Ronaldo. I want to get right to it. I finally met over the phone today Randy Berry, who is the executive director of the Indie Space Fund. I need to have Randy come out here right now so that you can correct me on what it's called. The Indie Space?
It's Indie Space and then the Indie Theater Fund.
That's what it is. Okay,
yeah.
Great. So Randy, thank you so much for donating your time to come to the Reparations Show. I appreciate it. I'm so happy that we're finally seeing each other face to face via this flat screen.
Me too.
Tell us about Indie Space Fund.
Well,
Indie Space.
It's okay. That's one of the reasons we're merging, right? It's kind of confusing. They're so similar. But Indie Space and the Indie Theater Fund are two organizations that support indie theater makers trying to create work in the 5 boroughs of New York City, either with space and real estate advisory services and funding, grants, and professional development programming.
Very nice. So Indie Space, specifically, you're dealing with getting indie theater makers spaces so that they can make theater.
Yeah, that's the goal. And it's to help them handle the space that they might already have, or to, bring in new spaces into the community. So if an indie theater company is facing a real estate challenge or transition or an opportunity, we can step in and kind of offer free advice and consulting to help give them, the tools that they need in order to negotiate properly with the landlord and the real estate community in the city.
That's incredible. So you're giving them tools to negotiate. And and right now, because of COVID, negotiations can happen. I mean, in my mind, it's, if anything good can come out of this, well, there's a number of good things that can come out of this, but as far as real estate is concerned, maybe it's a moment for people to take on space at a lower cost and, plant their stake and plant their seeds and roots in real estate. Because as we know, real estate is a wealth generator for individuals, for companies, and there are folks in our community that have been systemically left out of those opportunities. So you said magic words.
Yes.
You're leading me into my next question. So my next question to you is, I know that Indie Space and the Indie Theater Fund have plans for reparations in your mission statement. And I want you to tell everybody what those plans are.
Well, it hasn't been in our mission statement. It needs to be in our new merged organization's mission statement, but it has been living in our programming for quite some time. So the Indie Theater Fund only gives grants to artists for artist pay of underrepresented artists, and Indie Space is focused on creating new spaces for Black artists and people of color in the city. So for the fund, we've been talking a lot about creating a reparations program. right after George Floyd's murder, we gave 5 grants to 5 different Black-run theater companies just to create safe space for Black artists in the community without an application or anything. We just gave those grants. And I want to figure out how we can do more of that. And we're also talking about most of our giving through the Indie Theater Fund is through a lottery system. So my board and I have been talking about a weighted system. So, Black artists or other people of color, handicapped or disabled artists, or, LGBTQ artists maybe getting an extra chit or 2 in the hat so that they have a higher chance of being pulled out of the hat for funding. And then, we've been working with a lot of different Black artists to create space. I think this is the perfect time. If there's ever been a time, why not now, right?
Yeah, yes. And again, you have led me into my next question. I know that you're working with 2 friends of this show, Nidra Sulater and AJ Muhammad, on their new theater endeavor called The Grove. And Morgan, will you put that image up? Oh, it's already in the overlay. There it is.
Oh, awesome.
And this is Nidra and AJ's new theater company to create a Black off-Broadway theater space.
Yeah.
Super exciting to me. Can you talk a little bit about what you're doing with AJ and Nidra for The Grove?
I'm so happy to. I'm incredibly inspired by Nidra and AJ, and so thrilled that we're able to help them. So they came to us because Kelly Gerard actually introduced us.
Kelly Gerard of the Fire This Time Festival.
That's right.
Who in many ways gave me my start as a producer in the city.
Oh, look at that.
2012, when I used to produce the Fire This Time Festival. Anyway, keep going.
Amazing. Yep. Fire This Time Festival was one of those companies that we gave a grant to at the beginning of this crisis. So we just started talking, and they were telling me this idea that's been ruminating for a long time. And I said, why the fuck not? And now, really, right now, let's do it right this second when funders are actually finally having conversations about what they should have been doing and what they can do. And so we've just been talking and thinking through the process of what this can look like. We've been talking about 501c3 status or fiscal sponsorship. We've been talking about for-profit organization versus not-for-profit organization, and really kind of thinking about what the basics, like the foundation, can look like, and also connecting to professionals, right? So one of the things Indie Space will do, I worked my day job in commercial real estate for a really long time, and I was rehearsing my shows in the vacant spaces of all the buildings we were selling. So I figured out a way to think about my day job. It was my survival. I'm a theater maker. So it was a way for me to make my day job less miserable. Yeah, absolutely miserable. And, if we were selling a building, I would rehearse in it for the 3 months that we were marketing the building. And we started thinking about okay, how can we do this with other people? So we create a database of real estate professionals that were kind of friendly towards me when I was doing that work, and were maybe open to offering their services to other theater makers for free. And so we'll start building a team around AJ. Around AJ and Nidra, and take it as it comes. I don't know. It's going to be an adventure. We'll see what happens.
That's so cool. So I talked to Nidra and AJ today, and they just started working with Fractured Atlas for fiscal sponsorship. So anyone who is watching the show, if you are interested in donating to The Grove, which is AJ and Nidra's venture, email us at thereparationshow@yahoo.com, and I will connect you to them so that you can give them all yo money, honey.
Yes, and it's an amazing idea. I mean, it's a necessary idea. It's a space for Black artists to be nurtured and developed all the way through, from the very first imagining of a show through, production. And it's beautiful. It's a good idea.
In the same way that the Reparations Show and much of the activism that happened in 1968, like the creation of the National Black Theater, it is a space for Black and indigenous artists, but I think the role is specifically Black artists, to do what they want outside of the white gaze, to make work that is really about healing themselves and healing the community. And I think that that is really great. Randy, I know that you have to go.
It's okay.
And I thank you so much for coming on the show, for donating your time, and for also donating to, and AJ is commenting, give us everything you owe. For giving of your time, and for giving of this time to AJ and Nidra and all of the independent theater makers out there.
It's my pleasure. Thank you for having me. I appreciate. I'm the white lady today, so thanks for letting me be the white lady.
Listen, wherever you go, Randy, you are the white lady. I want you to know that is what you are to me.
Thanks. I'm so glad I could be the white lady for you.
You have a good night, and thank you so much.
You
Morgan.
too.
Hi, my name is Dipti, and I'm a playwright. And I'm making this video as an appeal to ask you to become a patron of Frigid New York. I have been a fan and advocate of Frigid for many years. The Frigid Festival was the place where I put up my first play, and it was really an indication of how giving a platform to new and emerging artists is something that we need. It's an incubator for talent and experimentation, comedy, and much more. It has been a lifeboat for many, and now I'm asking that we become a lifeboat for it. Just go to patreon.com/Frigid New York and see if you're able to join as a patron. There are lots of perks involved in that too, and you can feel good about keeping Frigid healthy through this time and beyond. Thank you.
Give it up for last week in reparations, and check out This Week in Reparations tonight at 8 p.m. Yay! Ooh, you are in for a treat, a special treat. Buckle up, put on your seatbelts. You're in for a wild ride. It is my absolute joy and pleasure to introduce to you one of my dearest friends, and also one of the funniest women that I know, an amazing writer, an amazing woman, a marvelous wonder of the universe, and also pretty much the mayor of the Union Square area. So you're welcome, world. Yes, you are in for a treat. Please put your hands together. Give a warm welcome for the one and only comedian, writer, woman extraordinaire, Brenda Cullerton.
Thank you for that very discreet introduction, Lucy. Oh my God. Is a toast to you. I just have to say that, wow. What kind of fun week has this been for all of us? Tuesday night, I went to bed with a voice like Minnie Mouse. Wednesday, I woke up a little hoarse. And by Thursday, this is it. Okay, I sound like some cisgender female transitioning into Darth Vader. Bring the princess and the Wookiee to my ship. But there's one thing I will tell you, if I am ever on a quiz show when all of this is over, and the question is, where is Clark County? Bzzz, I got it. I got that. I'm actually in downtown Manhattan right now. And the skies are not full of, the sounds of music, whatever. The hills, they're choppers. They're just choppers everywhere. It's kind of like Iraq. With all of this anxiety and uncertainty that has been going on, of course, for months, not to mention this past week, I've had just these flashes, I guess, of 9/11. It's not a funny subject, and Hurricane Sandy. But back then, we all had to pack a go bag. You want to tell me how quaint that concept is right now? A go bag? There were billboards everywhere. Pack it up, ready, set, go? Nowhere. Lol. La 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 la. I swear to God, if I texted, if I was laughing out loud as often as I text that acronym, I wouldn't be on antidepressants. Probably none of us would. But where I have been going lately is Google. I type in, can Americans go to? And there's this little box that pops up because obviously I am not the only one asking that question, right? Can Americans go to Paris, London, France, Hong Kong, Amsterdam? And the answer is, of course, no, 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 which is when it gets a little weird. Can Americans go to Greenland? Now, first of all, who the fuck named the country Greenland? Because 80% of it, okay, 80% of it is covered in ice, which is melting. It has a population, I think, of about 6, probably because everybody else drowned. So no Greenland. My fantasy, believe it or not, my fantasy is Wuhan. Yeah, Wuhan, birthplace of the China virus. They are having pool parties in Wuhan. I've seen the pictures, okay? I've seen the pictures. Hundreds and hundreds of Wuhanis, maskless, all crammed into these community pools like the L train in the old days, okay? Because I don't know if anybody remembers the L train, but yeah, this was when people came into Manhattan, right? Speaking of which, does anybody remember when, hey, let's go out for dinner tonight, hun? Meant out. Did not mean out. As in freezing your ass off, eating a bowl of pasta on the sidewalk, which is what they call patio dining these days, okay? Last night we were at some joint, fabulous views of the Holland Tunnel. And I was like a deer, okay, in the headlights, literally squinting at all these cars that were coming at me. And I was thinking, they call it the great outdoors. What the fuck is so great about the outdoors? It sucks. It sucks especially when I turn around and I see all of these young people dining inside the restaurant. And they're taking off their coats and they're unraveling their scarves. I guess it is so fucking hot in the restaurant. They have to take off their sweaters too. For me, that was it. That was the tipping point. I stood up. Check, please. Check, please. But yeah, COVID. Oy vey is all I can say. 8 months ago, I was terrified when I heard that my daughter was hanging out at some axe throwing bar in Queens. I mean, honest to God, axe throwing and drinking. What could possibly go wrong there, right? Flash forward, COVID. I wake up. I'm terrified when I heard she's gone to the deli, okay? The deli. Now, I have had a lot of fears in my life, but going to the deli was never one of them. Never. Neither was nibbling on a pineapple without scrubbing the skin with a piece of fucking Brillo. And what? You want to tell me what they have done to Happy Birthday to you? Whose brilliant idea was it to take the happiest song on the planet and turn it into the COVID national anthem? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. 20 seconds. 20 seconds. The only thing that stood between me and a ventilator. I hear people singing happy birthday on the street now, and I get hives, okay? I have an allergic reaction. It's like an emotional trigger, I guess. But the irony, I mean, the greatest irony amongst so many these days is that I am a woman of a certain age. That's what they call me. Does any of this seem certain to you? Because it sure as hell doesn't to me. I don't know. I don't know. That is now my Amazon password. That's my Citibank password. I don't even know what day it is. But then nobody else does either, at least not at the moment. So that is some, small consolation, I guess. I think everybody sort of feels as if they're losing a bit of their mind, or whatever's left of their mind. Monday, actually, I had my annual physical, right? And this lovely young woman, scratch the lovely, scratch the young, definitely woman, this person walks into the office and says, I would like to give you a compilation series test. And I am like, huh? It's just a little test about your mental acuity. Yikes, is what I'm thinking. Okay, yikes. Just as long as she doesn't ask me what day it is. First question, she says, first question. Would you say that you have been depressed or suicidal at any point during the past year? And I just looked at her. You're kidding, I says. No, ma'am, I'm not kidding. And I said, even Mr. Rogers would have been fucking suicidal at some point during the past year. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. They're boarding up windows in the neighborhood. Won't you be my neighbor? Not. I think this is going to be just about it for me. I'm going back to Clark County, back to CNN counting the votes. But I want to thank all the eyeballs out there for bearing with me here. And Lucy, thank you for that marvelous introduction. Cheers.
It's not the same without the lights, without the people in the room. Please wait 5 minutes longer. The house will open soon. I've heard the show must go on. Gee, I hope that is true. I'll be waiting in the wings. I'll keep a ghost light burning for you.
Station.
Not the same.
On that morning, the morning after election night 2016, I look across the turnstiles. That blue sign says that near this subway station is Theodore Roosevelt's birthplace. I thought that morning, oh yeah, Teddy Roosevelt. That is our one United States president who was born here in New York City. Our one and only president born in New York City. And then my heart sank as I realized, not anymore.
Younger.
These last few weeks.
I remember being behind my abuela's couch playing Barbies or Colorforms and listening to the young people talking about the movement and the establishment and the man. And that if you were not part of the solution, you were part of the problem. And el pueblo unido nunca será dividido. The people united will never be divided. And that how everybody was going to vote against Nixon. But Nixon won.
hey, I'm Michael Dukakis. No,
and so
I gotta go the extra level. You know what I mean? This is my last Halloween parade. So what I did, I got my cousin's hunting outfit. It was like this camouflage onesie that zips up the front, you know? And I got a fake hunting rifle. And on my back, I put a sign that said Quail Hunter, because the vice presidential candidate for the other side was Dan Quayle. Now, look, I'm going through the Halloween parade and I'm getting a lot of attention. You know, this is a highbrow joke for a 13-year-old. But can you imagine something like that happening today? Here's a little kid with a fake gun threatening the vice president of the Republican Party with a sign on his back. I mean, the pictures and the videos would have gone viral. My parents would have become the only people in the history of television demonized on both Fox News and MSNBC.
So I reposted that same story and shared it with friends and family. So now every person that I know could be just as sad as me. And then after an hour, it got 14 likes. And it also got a few comments as well. And one of the comments was, "What's the world coming to?" And another one of the comments was a sad face. And another comment said, "Somebody should do something about this." And then I commented back on that comment by saying, "I know, right? I'm making a difference. I know deep in my heart, I'm making a difference. Yes, I've clearly done my part. We make a brighter day when we share news stories about things we're apparently not going to be doing all that much more about anyway. Yes, you could simply say, I'm making a difference."
Darlings, I'm Jackson Sturkey. I am at the Crane Theater, thanks to Frigid New York, and this is the first night of the Gotham Storyteller Festival. I am so honored to be able to be here. I'm so honored to be part of this. I'm so honored to be sharing voices and still be part of the arts, and I hope that with the art that we are able to continue to speak truth to power. There's going to be many more stories and many more storytellers. I will be part of the amateur storyteller night later this week. And if you want to find out more, you can find out more at frigid.nyc. Thank you so much. Be safe, be well, and may we all be together again very soon.
Give it up for the very funny and very fabulous Brenda Cullerton. Follow Brenda on Instagram at Brenda's Idioms. Slide into her DMs. Yes, do it, and give it up for all the wonderful Gotham Storytelling Festival performers coming your way very soon. We are going to close out the show with our last segment now, another installment of Two Ply by Dandy Darkly. That's right, another delicious, nutritious bit of Dandy Darkly's amazing brain. We are ending this show early tonight so we can bring you the Gotham Storytelling Festival, which will be delicious and nutritious. It's going to be Gotham for beginners, and I will be your host for that as well. So sorry you're stuck with me. Check out frigid.nyc for all the info on how to get your last minute tickets, and let's go check out Two Ply by the one and only Dandy Darkly.
Did you ever hear a story all about the Two-Ply family? There's Cottonelle, the debutante, little sister Lulu, and Big Daddy. Won't you come on, folks? Won't you sit a spell? Daddy's gonna take you straight to hell. Ain't that the cutest toilet paper rose that ever you did see? It's the Two-Plies, coronet.
It's the further adventures of Lulu, Teen Detective.
The world of a gumshoe is a lonely place. We are the hunters of truth. Clues are our quarry, and it's the villain's nature to hide their precious secrets in the dark. Nighttime holds innumerable answers, if only you know where to look. Word on the street is dangers are coming to Coronet County. That's the sleepy town I hang my hat. The case of Cottonelle's missing hairbrush was hardly a whodunit. Cottonelle's my big sister. A fortune teller warned her of devils and a plot perpetrated by a new beau, a Mr. Scott Kirkland. My big daddy loves a glass of wine, but he sure hates the Kirklands, calls them cheats. But finally, the clues were pointing me in a direction, straight to the graveyard, where the ghost of my mama first warned me of what's to come. Like I said, the dark is full of secrets, and the only way I'd find any answers was to catch myself a devil. Well, here's the spot. Mama's grave. Stinkies! A clue! It looks like Mama managed to dig herself out. This looks like a perfect spot to set my trap. Whoa! Now! I got you, devil! Help! Oh, help! Wow, it worked! Please, please put me down! I'm afraid of heights! Okay, devil, stop your hollering. I'll cut you down, but you owe me some answers. Yes, anything. Please, I'm terrified. Sheesh, you're a lot littler devil than I imagined. And what a scaredy cat. Of course I'm scared. I nearly fell into the sky. And I'll have you know I'm neither a devil nor a cat. I'm merely an imp. Imp, devil, it's all the same. You're here to spread evil. The same? My knickers it is. And what do you mean by evil? I don't know what that word means. I'm simply here to educate and inform. Wait, so you're not ushering the return of them who flushed before, ending the great isolation and the junk folk as we know it? My, that's a mouthful, isn't it? I may be an imp, but I'm a toilet roll too. Why would I end the junk folk if it meant my demise as well? Huh, that's a good point. So what are you up to? How rude of me. My name is Clotpuss Percival of Clan Vaccinator, but everyone calls me Clot. I'm Lulu of Clan Two-Ply. It's quite nice to meet you, Lulu. I've got a specific set of rituals to summon the old ones. We gotta flatten the curve, we do. That means social distance and the junk folk wearing masks. Care to help? This allegory feels pretty ham-fisted. Don't you lie to me, devil. Imp. And I never lie. As an imp, I'm incapable of deception. Okay, let's do this. Brilliant. Things will go much faster with two on the job. Lulu, before we begin, might I ask, what made you change your mind? Well, I guess I'm just at a certain age where I realize the role expected of me is not what I see for myself. That's mostly to blame on the patriarchal hegemony that undervalues my input, while thin sheets like Scott Kirkland and my dad get all the credit. On top of that, my sister, Cottonelle, she treats me pretty poorly, which makes processing my angst that much harder without a reassuring female role model to emulate. So instead of typical teen rebellion, dyeing my hair or piercing my nose, I've decided to summon the old gods and burn the whole system to the ground. What can I say, Clot? I live life to the extreme. Oh my, I quite like that. Very well, shall we be off? Hasta la vista, baby.
Oh, that's very funny. Lulu, I have one.
Go for it.
And that's a wrap.
Hey, good one. Do you think we could ride the carousel?
I'm afraid not. One leads by example.
Okay. Wow, Clot, it sure feels like we made a difference.
Most certainly we did. But there's one final place we must go.
Lead the way, my new friend.